Okay, alright. Alright, chatos, I got something to show you guys. Apparently, a new Sword Art Online game has been announced, apparently. I don't really have super high expectations, but who knows, maybe. Granted, I do have a pretty low expectation on Sword Art Online games, so. Apparently this is supposed to be back to the original Sword Art Online. So, the first season. I think personally when it came to Sword Art Online, my personal favorite is the original one and the Gun Gale Online series. I think personally those are my two favorite. I have not seen Alicization. And I think I saw the one with, I forgot the name or so. Basically, they made Asuna or so, Asuna was the main protagonist in that series with the purple hair girl. That's all I really remember. No, they made other SAO games too as well, so I'm curious to see what this is about. I'm keeping a pretty low expectation though, because I'm not really expecting much on SAO games in general. So let's take a look at it, shall we?
Sometimes you go in blind on a new game. That's how it was for me with Sword Art Online Echoes of Aincrad. I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not a Sword Art Online guy. I haven't read the manga, seen the anime, theatrical films, or live-action adaptation, or played any of the games. My only knowledge of Sword Art Online is that the characters are trapped in an MMO, and if you die in the game, you die in real life.
Yeah,
dun dun dun! That's a pretty compelling basis for a manga or an anime, but it's particularly interesting as a video game set in a video game. As it turns out, not knowing much about Sword Art Online made me the perfect guy to sit down with Echoes of Aincrad because, well, it's a little different from what's come before.
With me.
Right.
Wait a second. These people already have preview? Wait, when is this game coming out? Wait, hold on a second. My question is, when is this game coming out? Hold up a second. I need to see the release date on this. Oh, it's coming out in July? Interesting. Huh. Interesting.
Before we dive into that, let's take a quick step back and establish a few things first. Aside from a short story section of the tutorial that we don't want to spoil, I didn't really see any of Echoes of Aincrad's story. Instead, my time with Aincrad was spent doing a quest called The Lost Log, but that doesn't mean I can't talk about some of the narrative decisions this single-player action RPG makes. Maybe the biggest departure for the series is that for the first time in its history, you're not going to play as a pre-existing character who is part of the story.
Oh, you don't play
Instead,
as Kirito?
you'll make your own. When I asked Sword Art Online game series producer Yosuke Futami why they made the switch, he told me there were a couple of reasons. First, most games in the series have been set in the middle of Sword Art Online's story, which required players to have at least some working knowledge of the series.
Yeah.
Echoes of Aincrad doesn't, and Futami hopes that means it will be more approachable for folks who aren't already fans. Second, he's hoping that by putting the player into the game world as their own character, they'll be able to experience the story of being trapped in a death game themselves, not vicariously. Neat.
Oh, so you can make your own character now.
My journey started in the town of
I
beginnings. I spent a little time running around,
you
getting a
play
feel for
with
the
people,
place, and
Pushpa?
finding
Is
some
there
elven
co-op
statues
aspect
that
to
taught
this?
me some of Aincrad's lore. The town of beginnings feels like, well, a starting town in an MMO. It's got that dense yet artificial feel of a town in a video game, which pulls double duty in a video game set in a video game because NPCs feeling like NPCs here is a feature, not a bug. The town also shows off how utterly gorgeous Echoes of Aincrad is. This is a good-looking video game, like,
Actually,
damn.
it does.
After seeing the town, I teleported to a nearby terminal. You can teleport anytime you're in town, picked up a quest, and then teleported to my chest to change up my loadout and level up. You see, Echoes of Aincrad started me with a sword and board build, and I decided immediately that I would not be doing that because it just didn't feel like me. I opted for a great sword and some new gear instead, and spent my growth points to maximize what I wanted to do, meaning hit things with a big sword. One of the
Can
neat
you
things
play as,
Echoes of
like,
Encred does
you
is
know,
rewards
as
you
other
for hitting
classes?
certain milestones as you level up, generally once you hit 5-point increments. Getting my dex to 5, for instance, boosted my sword skill ability damage by 3%, while hitting 10 bumped that to 5%. It's easy to play an RPG and feel like individual levels don't do much to make you stronger, but every time I got a new level or hit a new milestone in my time with Echoes of Encred, I felt it. Something Futami confirmed was intentional when I asked him about it. And in Echoes of Encred, you can reset your parameters whenever you want. This isn't typical of Sword Art Online as a setting, but it makes Echoes of Encred more accessible to newcomers and encourages you to experiment with your build until you find something you like. If you ask me, that rules. Once I was kitted out good and proper, it was time to go out into the world. Echoes of Encred is set in an MMO, but it's a single-player game. When you go out, though, you're not alone. You can select a companion to go with you. I had my choice of 3.
I see.
Iori, a healer, the tankier Wise Man, who operates in more of a utility/support role. I went with Wise Man. Once we were in the field, how we proceeded was up to us. The map would tell us where we needed to go, but I could only see some of it. I'd have to unlock the rest as we traveled. Our first enemies were wolves, boars, and kobolds, all perfect for getting used to Echoes of Encred's combat system. A lot of what's here is stuff you've seen before. You've got a guard, light and heavy attack chains that you can alternate between on the fly, special attacks, and your partner's abilities.
How's this?
Iori's, for instance, create a circle that heals you if you stand in it. You'll also open up additional attacks if you dodge at the right time or manage to parry, as you do, and some of them are pretty cinematic. Fancy.
Interesting.
What makes Echoes of Encred cool is how dangerous everything feels. Standard enemies can and will kill you if you're not paying attention, especially early on, and they're not exactly the forgive and
How come
forget
the-
type. They'll follow you for a long time.
How come this game's combat looks better than Code Vein? I don't know. You tell me how that's even how a Sword Art Online game looks better than fucking Code Vein 2.
If you pick a fight with them.
Hey, Winter.
And they're all different. Kobolds will block your attack and retreat and try to blind you. If they do, the screen darkens and is filled with static. It's a great effect that does exactly
that's
what
pretty
it
cool,
says,
actually.
makes it a lot harder to see. Wolves,
It's better than the marathon blind thing, I'm gonna be honest with you. And that's just true. That's not even an opinion.
on the other
actually looks
hand, are
better.
nimble and aggressive and travel in packs.
Take care,
Boars are
Pharaoh.
bruisers that you probably don't want to go toe-to-toe with directly. And there are weird plants that attack from range with vines and can burrow under the ground.
Yo.
And that's not even getting to the elite enemies, which are bigger, faster, and stronger, and come with additional attacks. By far the
Interesting.
worst, though, were the wasps. They fly, they shoot poison, they hit pretty hard. Them boys is tough. So much so that I felt like San Andreas' CJ whenever I saw one. Ah, shit.
Here we go again.
Futami knows it too. When I asked him about the enemies and specifically mentioned the wasps, he nodded and said, "Ah, wasp," in English. The rest of our interview was conducted via translator. Those are the words of a man who knows what he's doing, what horrors he has unleashed on his digital world.
I see.
But even then, there are ways to deal with enemies. They can be stunned, opening them up to big damage. In the case of the wasps, I could knock them out of the
You gotta
air,
wait until the
which is where
honeymoon
they're
phase is
strongest.
over.
If I stun them, I could chop off their
But
wings.
there is a thing or so, right? I don't think it's gonna completely fail for Marathon. It's gonna have a pretty small niche community. But like, the thing is, right? It's a ball and gun gamer people. It doesn't take much to impress ball and gun gamers. As long as you can hold down and aim down and shoot something, as long as those specific mechanics work in the game, they'll find entertainment out of it. So, unfortunately, the FPS genre scene is just a complete disarray because they're what's the word? I guess like their I wouldn't say expectation. I guess they're like their taste buds has been completely shitified because how the FPS scene has been, that they don't know what good quality game is at the end of the day. So that's the only reason why I just don't believe Marathon is just a good game at all. It's a half-baked game.
Preventing them from taking to the air and forcing them to fight on my terms. No matter what enemy I went up against or how many times I saw them, it was always scary when a fight drew the attention of more baddies, and exhilarating when I landed a big hit, nailed a dodge attack, or timed a team-up attack just so.
What a different shift in tone.
What I saw of the
If
world
you guys
was
notice or so, it's such a different like tone shift or so with this game compared to like their previous sort of online games, where it's like more bright and vibrant. This is more like dark and very moody or so. This is very interesting. I think Marathon can be improved, but that's if Sony allows it. It probably will improve anyways, because you know their job is on the line at the end of the day. But like I said, it does not take much or so to impress ball and gun gamers. For God's sakes, you have Aztec Cross fucking literally oozing at high guard, okay? Like I said, my stance still stands. Does not take a lot to impress ball and gun gamers. As long as you can aim and shoot in that game, that's all they give a fuck about. If you take away those mechanics, you know for a fact they will be complaining, okay? Aztec Cross will be my best reference that I always will bring up every single time, okay?
just as
Man
intriguing.
cannot let
In
go
most
of
RPGs,
destiny.
the worlds are something you navigate between combat encounters, but in Echoes of Encrad, getting around is half the battle. Futami told me that they wanted the world itself to be like a dungeon, and I felt it when I was playing. Much of the time, I was figuring out how to get where I wanted to be from where I was, and what paths I'd need to take to get from one floating orb, which serves as places to rest and restore your potions, but also respawn enemies, to another.
This is a Souls-like game? That's a Souls-like, fucking, that is Souls-like fucking mechanics. That's interesting.
Finding chests along the way. By far my favorite thing about the world was finding...
Aztec is a different breed. He a looter shooter goblin. Yeah, but it doesn't take long to impress ball and gun gamers, for God's sakes, okay? It really does not. It does not take a lot to impress them, okay?
arcs. Defeating the mini-boss enemies sealed inside the arcs will open up other seals scattered throughout the world, allowing you to get chests and other goodies. One time, I opened up a cave, but it was too dark for me to see what was inside. Apparently, I didn't have the right equipment to light the way. I guess I needed a Pokemon with flash or something. That could have been annoying, but I love navigating Echoes of Aincrad's world so much that it just made me want to come back later. There's so much detail here, and even walking through the mud is exciting because it would show up on my
I
character.
would be honest with you, it does look very interesting, to be honest. Like, it really does. Like, visually, it does. It's like completely different compared to all the other SAO games.
Something Futami said the team put a lot of effort into, and you really get a sense of that as you play. Searching for the lost log usually meant making the trip in chunks, fighting my way to the next orb, then going back to town to level up, equip new armor and weapons, and upgrade and slap new abilities on them, which sadly I can't show. Switch out my companions. I liked them all, but Iori quickly became my go-to because of her healing prowess, and so on. Each trip to the wild was an expedition, and I loved an excuse to try out new weapons and partner characters, which returning to the city provided. My demo ended with a boss fight against a couple of big, scary plants. It was a grand old time, and a fitting end to my time with Echoes of Aincrad. I came, I saw, I conquered, recovered the lost log, and left many a dead wasp in my wake. I'm still thinking about Echoes of Aincrad more than a week after playing it, about its world, about the characters, about the wasps. Even the metatextual stuff is fun. Remember Iori? She appears as a woman when I met her, but early on Iori is a man. And Futami is eager to see what players...
What? Say that one more time? Can you say that one more time?
About the characters, about the wasps. Even the metatextual stuff is fun. Remember Iori? She appears as a woman when I met her, but early on Iori is a man.
So it's a guy pretending to be a girl in the game? Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
Futami is eager to see what players make of that change. It's particularly fitting for a video game. After all, who amongst us hasn't played as a member of the opposite sex while exploring a fantasy world?
Well, every single guy always plays females. This is like the most common thing, you know. Besides Asmongold. Asmongold is gay, okay? All right. He likes to play men all the time. He likes to play sweaty big men all the time, okay? Let's be honest here. A lot of guys would rather see some good ass or so from a girl. But Asmon is a different man, you know. He wants to see some big sweaty man, you know. That's what he wants to play.
If Echoes of Aincrad can nail what it's aiming for, it should be a chance for seasoned vets and newcomers alike to get into the Sword Art Online world. Me? I just want to go back to that cave. Next time, I'll make sure to bring a light.
Oh,
for
what?
more, check out our...
Whoa, wait. Holy cow. You can actually see him chopping the dog's head off. That is so visceral. Well, that's pretty interesting to see that. Look at that. There's a dog's head right there. Oh, that's crazy to see that actually. Was definitely not expecting to see that in general. Oh, okay. All right, okay. Interesting, interesting. We'll see. We'll be keeping an eye on this game, to be honest. Granted, I'm keeping the my expectations low because it is an SAO game at the end of the day, but it seems pretty promising for at least the early preview of the game itself, so we'll see what happens.